Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In this video we are going to learn about one more hook called useMemo. Here I have created a hook useMemo and I am using this here. So if you see that this is right now blank, so we will see how we can use useMemo hook here in our coding. So first of all, just I create the component. Now I create a functional component, give here name useMemo hook. Now here I just display dummy value right now and I say h2 dummy just to start the coding. Now what I do, I create a state variable, I say const, and the state variable would be of num and set num. I say use state and here we pass here 1 as a default value. Now I say const color, set color and use state, and default value we can put hash black color as a default value. Now what we do, we create here the input box. So here I say label. In this label I display enter number to get table. Okay, then br tag we are using here. Now I say input type equal to number and I say value equal to num, and on change we say here that event means e, set num, here pass e dot target dot value. So and we just initialize this input box. Now after input we have the button. We say button on click equal to, and we say change color, and here we pass a function event handler, we call it change color. Remember? Now what I do, here I display the table of the number which we are passing. So here I just create a function, I say display table, and that will have a number as an argument. And now what I do, I put here br also, save this. Now I create these function like change color and display table. So here we create change color, we say constant change color equal to then arrow function. In this arrow function we have a constant value color, and this color would be of random color. So I say math dot floor, here math dot random, then we multiply by 6177722, maybe any range of the color which you want to display, plus we say to convert this to string of hexadecimal value, the base would be hexadecimal like this, and after this color we say set color and we change the color to the color which we have it. So this change color is completed. Now display table we want to create. Now we say const display table and here we pass a num on which we will display table. Now I create a array, I say table. So I create the for loop here, then we say let I equal to 0, I less than equal to 10, I plus plus, and here I say table dot push. We are inserting a data in table. So what I say here, I say that the value of num which we are passing multiply by the value of I which we are passing equal to the value of num into I, like this, and then we return this value table like that. I think we done this. Now we have a color property to change the color. So what I do here in table, I use a div tag here, or I use div tag here. So inside this div tag I call this expression, I remove this one now, and in div tag I say style would be color like that. So I think everything is done. If we see this, we have the table here, table of 1, and I click here the change color, then color is also changing. So I just make it some improvement that we need this table line by line, and I remove this dummy value. So I remove this. Now this function will return array. So we say map, and here we have a value of this array. So here I say h4, and here I display this value, and I say save. So it will display line by line, you see. So whenever I change the value, automatically you see that we have the table of this. We click on change color, and automatically we have the change color also. You see that all are working perfectly without any problem. We have everything and done very fast. They are running very fast. Now you will understand that what is the use of useMemo here. So for your knowledge purpose, suppose that if this display table take long time in execution, for example, I make it long time, I say I have a variable let that is called j equal to 0, and I say while this j is less than 2, like this, and I say j plus plus, and I save this. So this is the way to delay this function. Remember that I am doing this delay just to show you the use of useMemo. So this display table is now delay little bit. If I show here and refresh it, so you see that it taking a time. You see, whenever I change the value, you see I change the value, but 2 will come after certain time. You see, if I click on this, then it take time and it will turn to 3. Again I click on 4, but it will take time and 4 will come after a little bit of delay. Same if I click on change color, you see color is not changing, it will take time. You see, I click on change color, it will take time. So the question here is, the table generation function, the function is called display table, is directly connected with the code. Remember that here this display table is directly connected with the table. So it may be that whenever we click on this text box and the value change, then it may take time. it may take time for generating a table. You see it taking a time, little bit of time it taking. But why we are taking a long time for changing a color? Because change color do not have a direct link with this table display table function. You see, display table function is not linked with this change color function. This button is different, do not come under or outer of this display table. Display table is different, but still we have a delay in change color. That means if any function is taking a lot of time for calculation in React, and then all the component which we are using, they will also delay automatically. You see, I am changing a color and color is also taking a time. This I am decreasing this value, I am increasing this value, they are taking lot of time. It is taking only just a 1 or 2 second delay, but maybe in real time application, if we have a delay in one component, that delay will also reflect to other component. Like we have a delay in table generation, but this delay is also reflecting to the change color. So what is the solution of this? This solution is called useMemo. Remember that useMemo is used whenever we are rendering any function again and again, like display table we are rendering, and this function is also dealing other component that we are using. For example, change color function we are using here. This change color function you see is not directly associated with this display table, but whenever we call the button on change color, then it is also executing this display table, because they are coming in the render. So whenever we click on change color, so this render function execute because of the change of the color value, because the rendering is performing. That's why this table function automatically execute. But remember that we are not changing the value of the table, we are changing the value of color only. You see table, if I refresh it, you see that table is taking a lot of time to execute because of the calculation. Now do you see that we have only one here, click here, it taking a time, and it would be 2, it is 2 now. So we are not changing the 2 value, but we are changing a color. So that means the change color is not linked with this 2, but still the color value is also taking a lot of time for changing, because whenever I click on change color, then indirectly this change color function is also executing this display table. Remember why? Because they comes under one render function. So render function always execute, this rendering is always execute whenever we click on change color button, and if there is a change in a rendering, then this function is also execute. So useMemo always check if the value which you want to change, only that value change. For example, if this num we are passing in this function, if the value of num change, then this function should execute. Otherwise we should have a cache, and from the cache value this function should take the value. So it will increase the time execution of other component, those are not directly or indirectly associated with this function. So what we have to do now, we have to use a useMemo. What useMemo will do? useMemo will create a cache and it will take this function into the cache. If the value of num is changed, then only this function will execute. Otherwise the value of this table will come from the cache. That means this function would not execute each and every time whenever we click on a change color. It will execute only when we click on a number change value. Whenever we click on this value, then it will execute. But if we click on change color, then display table function would not execute, it will come from the cache. So how we can use useMemo here? Just here write useMemo. Remember, first argument should be the function, and second argument is the condition on which you want to execute this. So first is the function and second is the condition. Condition is a num, because we want to execute this function only when the value of num is changed. If value of num does not change, that means we do not want to execute this display table method. So whenever I will click on change color will change only the color, it would not change the num. That's why now num useMemo we have to import first of all. So I import here useMemo like this. Now you will see, you can say it is not necessary to use num because automatically it detecting that num is depend on this. So we can remove this also because automatically num is depend on this function because we are passing a num here in this function. So it automatically detect. Now otherwise we have to give here num. We can give num also, no problem at all. It will give only warning that. So automatically it can detect that num is the required for executing this function. You see that first argument we pass here number and second is the dependency on which we want to update. Now display table now is not a function, it is the object now. So whenever we are calling this function here, it will create a problem. So what I do, I just remove this here like that, and I remove this also. So it will take the number from the use state. You see this number will come from the use state here, and now I see to refresh it. You see the value is coming. If I click on this, you see it will take time. You see it taking time because as usual the value of num change, and on the basis of this value it working. But I click on change color, you see the change color is very fast now, it's not taking time. You see I clicking and directly the change color is changing, color is changing because now this change color is using a cache value of this display table. Why cache value? Because whenever I click on change color, the value of num is not changing. The value of this num is not changing. If the value of num is not changing, that means this function useMemo depend on a num, so it would not execute. Only the value from the cache, the last time execute value that is available in a cache because of the useMemo, that table will display. That display table is same. Suppose the number is 3, we are not changing a number. I am clicking on change color, so you see the color is changing because the value of num is still 3. So there is no change after clicking on a change color, that's why it would not delay. But if I click on this, the value will change to 4, that's why it will take time. So now delay is only based on the function which is actually required the delay because it performing some operation. But this delay of display table method would not reflect other functions or other component of a same rendering function. That is the use of useMemo in React. I think I just explained you clearly with a proper example to show how you can use useMemo. That's all in this video. If you like this, please do subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.